football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this would be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Well, you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rodgers. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And shutting him off, now open field. Past the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss, the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game. Now it's Roethlisberger, almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
So on the big tight end, holding.
Second down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Roethlisberger will hand the counter. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw that side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. It'll be Aaron Rodgers under center, who was drafted by the Packers back in 2005 in the first round, now in his 14th year with Green Bay.
Just 7 starts in 2017 due to a collarbone injury. Tried to come back late in the year to rally the Packers into the playoffs. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. But one of the best competitors at the quarterback position in the NFL. He's lost Jordy Nelson, one of his best weapons, but he knows how to bring other guys along and turn them into valuable contributors.
On first down, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
319! Get reset. Hey, easy. Zoom. Hey, check 26.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we?
Yeah.
Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
319!
On third and long, it's Rodgers. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Roethlisberger finding Rodgers, and the Steelers convert on 3rd down. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They go play action here on 1st down. This is caught by Antonio Brown, and he gets it down to the 32. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And that's the first mark on the stat sheet for the 4-time first-team All-Pro. How about this? Over 1,000 yards 6 times in his career, and just 2 yards away. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with the ground. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
319.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ryan Shazier able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that? But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar. If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him. On the counter, here's Bell. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision.
straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Goes underneath for Bell. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On second down, it's Bell. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Here's Roethlisberger. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Trevor Davis now to return. And an alley to run. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And a pickup of about 4. Down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Eli Rogers that time. 3rd down here. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
The Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. This third down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start. After the penalty, it's Bell. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. On play action, it's Rodgers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking deep for Adams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. That's caught by Montgomery. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
That's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with... the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And now running right through it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he stopped immediately there. The big man, Tyson Alualu, there to make the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play at any spot on the field.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The veteran tight end, Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Throwing is Rodgers. And the Packers are in for the score. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 15 now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Crosby on now to kick it away. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They run with Connor, and that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Play action. It's Rudolph. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
3rd and long, it's Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Taken in at the 11th. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And avoids the contact by sliding. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
We got three, fellas. Oko, over here. Banjo.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
This is caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 29 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to the air, Rudolph on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Connor. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Crosby with the extra point. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10, Rudolph. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Rudolph now to throw. Got a man open. It's Darius Hayward-Bay. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now on 4th down, honors the punt team, sending this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They'll pitch it out to Jones. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 11, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the 1st.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
On third down they go, Montgomery. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Rodgers throwing here. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
You have fun with this one, partner.
I am. Been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes.